We are live. Alrighty, guys. So we are here with the one and only Harley. Now, for those who don't know, we covered his story on last week's episode, but now we got the words from the man himself. So, so how are you, Harley?
I'm doing well, doing well. Just
Now,
another day in the USA.
yeah. What's the weather like over there? Nice and warm.
It's cooling off. Wintertime's coming, so cold
Uh,
weather's moving in.
yes. No. All right. So I guess let's sort of start with your story. What exactly happened, man? Talk us through your day.
Well, this happened 3 years ago in 2020. I was working for an auction company at the time, and we were taking out an old sawmill. So the first week up there, the owner was up there, and he was telling us about a bear that was in there taking out the garbage and all that, moseying around. So I was like, okay, well, we'll just keep an eye out for him. It's me and a couple other guys. And going on through the rest of the week there, nothing really happened. We'd never seen this bear that he said was there. But there was plenty of wildlife, deer, coyotes, normal stuff that we'd be seeing.
Yeah,
So,
righto.
and come that weekend, we had the auction on a Saturday. And when it was over, I stayed up there to help people load the equipment or whatever that they had bought. So I stayed up there for another week, and on Sunday it had rained, and I was just out there hanging out, and I was walking around looking, and I found this set of tracks in the mud, and there's a couple of them, and I was like, well, them are odd looking tracks. They look like a human, I mean, me
Yeah.
being this being a skeptic at first, I was like, that's odd. So going on through the next couple of days there, it was a Tuesday, the day before I seen the creature. There was a trail that came down off of the ridge where I had seen it the day after I found these other tracks. There was a trailway, and I couldn't step these strides. I'm 6'6", and I couldn't do a stride like that if I tried. And so going to the day that I actually seen the creature, there was a guy in there that morning. I loaded him up at about 9, 10 o'clock. So I hadn't had anybody in for a couple hours, so I was like, I'm just gonna take me a break while there's nobody in here. So I grabbed a Coca-Cola and a sandwich, and I was just sitting there chilling. I heard a growlish grunt, and I was like, that's odd. I thought it was the bear, and I was like, well, I looked over towards the wood line. I didn't see anything. Well, I was going to take a bite out of my sandwich, and I heard it again. And I looked, and I heard something moving up on this ridge. I was like, there's something about to pop out up there. It's probably the bear. Well, I was looking, and I seen a flash of black. I was like, okay, there he is. Well, I got to looking, and I looked down, and I was going to grab my Coke, and I looked back, and I seen it go moving back in behind the tree. It was like leaning, and I was like, there ain't no way I'm seeing what I'm seeing right now.
Yeah.
So it was really odd. It's unlike anything that I've ever witnessed. And it had its arm wrapped around this tree, and it was leaning in and out watching me. And I was like, if I don't get a picture of this, nobody is going to believe me. So I snagged the picture, and my phone just I don't know how to explain it. The phone to this day still don't work properly.
Yeah,
And
right.
it's it's odd. I mean, so going on through that day, I was super on edge after I seen this thing because it was huge. The only thing that really stuck with me from seeing it physically wise was the width of it. It massive shoulders, huge forearms, and the way it moved, it was fast.
So,
So
so
whenever
you're you're talking about this image here, man. Is that right?
yes sir,
Yeah.
yes sir.
Yeah, it's funny, like you say it's like that because a lot of people would think that the image it sort of ends here, but to me, you look closely, it looks like it comes up a lot higher too. So it's like finishing up around the top in here.
I mean, it may very well may be. I mean, all I seen was that black mass that I've got
Yeah,
outlining the arrows right there, and you can see the hair. I mean, that's not a shadow. That is a
yeah,
physical creature.
yeah. Now, obviously, you're a size 12, man. Like you're looking at that footprint there. that's it's quite impressive, man. Like fucking,
Yeah,
and
I was thinking every bit of 16, 17 inches.
yeah, like that ain't a small foot. Now, like
No.
now, you see, obviously seen the links that I shared to you about the Yowie, obviously.
Yeah.
Very similar, like sort of foot in my eyes.
Yeah, very, very impressive track.
Yeah. Now, the weird thing that what's getting me is now it's like dead all the way around the footprint itself. Like it's like dead.
Yeah, but there was a deer trail right there in that area where that was coming in and out of.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Now, yeah, like see, I would have thought,
Now, I sent you a video. Did I send you the video of the trackway?
yes, you did, yeah. Now I will when I go through and I do me bit of editing, I'll throw it up on this other side over here too. But yeah. Now to me, was it summer around this time in summer?
It was just about fall.
Yeah, so in my eyes, that makes sense now. If you think about it, you got a large mass compacting the ground there. It's going to upturn the roots. Obviously, then the grass is going to die around it. So, that there makes sense to me. So, you know, but
Yeah, it
no,
was just about fall.
yes, it is quite crazy, man. Like, when you've come across this track, like, what was going through your head? Like, what were you like, sort of thinking at the time?
I was like, these things got to be real. I mean, they're not just stories. And then whenever I seen it, I was like, these things are legit. It's not just a bunch of bull.
Yeah.
There are large unknown primates that really live in this world. I mean, I was a skeptic. I'm one to admit I was. I mean, I
Yeah.
just never did believe it.
Yeah, no, see, like, and I guess that's the thing. Everyone's a sort of skeptic until they sort of have their own experience when it comes to this sort of stuff too. And sometimes,
Yeah,
just reaching out can make a big difference.
yeah. I've had this bottled up inside of me for 3 years, and I'm just now been going around and telling my story, and it's helped me a lot sharing it.
Yeah, no, and look, that's understandable, mate. Like, not every day would you get an encounter like this, but yeah, and like one thing I'm impressed with is like you've done everything you can. You've gotten the photos, you've got a video of the trackway itself. I mean, you even gone as far as like mapping it and pinging the location too. Like,
Yes, sir.
I mean, I guess we've been looking for this thing since what, late 1950s.
Yeah, yeah. Here in the U.S., yes, that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
Since the Patterson Gimlin film, I've never. I mean, I've been looking into that more, and it's impressive.
Yeah. Now, so this is in Virginia, right? Now, wildlife. There's
Yes,
no
sir.
there's no moose down found that far down. Is that correct?
No, we have elk.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
We have elk, no moose.
Yeah. So you got elk, you got coyotes, which we all know they sort of don't make those.
Bears.
Yeah, you got bears. Obviously, a lot of bears through that sort of part of the world. But yeah,
Yes, sir.
but no, and mate, all I can say is you've done well. You really have done well. Like going through, like even as we look through here through the trackway, like you've put your boot next to it. You obviously haven't tried contaminating it in any way.
No, no, because I knew if I did that, nobody would believe me. I mean,
Yeah,
I just left it as it was. I mean, if I didn't take pictures or a video or anything, nobody would have believed me. But they would still think maybe he's just pulling his leg or whatever. I mean, I've got my proof. I know what I've seen. I know what I've heard, and I believe that this is a Bigfoot. There ain't nobody going to tell me otherwise. I mean, this is a creature that is enormous,
yeah.
and it's impressive.
Yes, no, and like I was sitting there with the brother-in-law going through like the vocalizations. Now, it to me, it almost sounded like a whale sort of call, like in some ways, but in a lot of other
Mhm.
ways too. There was no way in hell it was a whale call because you in the audio you've got metal banging and
Yeah.
clanging in the background and everything like that, and
Yeah,
it sounded
the
like
wind was blowing that day.
uh, it to me it almost sounded like it was uphill because obviously I don't know exactly how sound travels, but I noticed that when it goes down through a valley, it does create like an echo.
Mhm.
So it's
Yeah,
sort of
that's
like
where I was at. I was in a valley.
yeah, yeah. Well, I noticed that like on the ping on the actual sawmill up here. So like it would have had to been up higher around this ridge here somewhere, and like for
Hmm.
something to make that loud of a noise, like, and that's a fair distance. Like that there would have to be probably what a k up, a kilometer or
Uh,
a mile or
Probably
two.
about a mile or two. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That thing would have had to been howling off the top of its lungs.
Let me tell you, like whenever those vocalizations started, they started the night that I seen the creature. So I was sitting there in the pickup truck. I was cataloging everything and getting stuff ready for me to leave to go back home on Friday.
Yep.
And I was just writing everything down. And I was standing at the back of the pickup truck, and it got dead quiet. The only thing that was going was the crickets, and it started. And I believe that there may have been more than one of these things because one would sound off, and then there would be another response uh, down just down from it.
Yeah. Okay. You you'd think like obviously if it's been around since say roughly the late 1950s, obviously there'd probably have to be more than one. Like you know, the thing that gets me right, Bigfoot. Like I seen a video there the other day. Now they're saying that through some of America's forestry, you have 3.5 million hectares worth of forestry, right? If you were to have an army to go through there looking for this thing, right, you could be there a lifetime. Like there are so many caves and trees and
Yeah,
underturned
it's
things.
remote, very remote.
Yeah. Now, and like you said, if they wanted their presence known, they'd show you.
And I believe that thing showed itself to me to let it know that it was there. And if it hadn't have done that, if I hadn't have heard the growlish grunt, I would have never known it was up there. To be honest with you, I would have never seen it.
Yeah. Now, was there
I
anyone
believe that this thing showed itself.
was there anyone else on the work site there with you that like heard these things as well? No.
No, but I talked with some old timers at a drive-in diner, and I was talking to them, and I told them what I've been hearing and what I've seen, and I showed them pictures of the tracks, and they said, "Oh, that there's a devil monkey," and that kind of stuck with me. I was like, "The devil monkey, is that a Bigfoot?" They said yes and no.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because what there's a lot of cryptids I know based over in America too. Like obviously you got the Jersey Devil and you got like things like that too. You got like the Dog Man of Missouri. You know.
Yeah, apparently there's Dogman here in Tennessee too. Apparently, now that I found that out, in
Yeah.
the town that I live in now, there was two. In the town that I'm living in now, there was two Dogman attacks, and two people were killed.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. It's funny, man. Like if people believe that we are the only sort of form of life, and like obviously animals as well, I feel like they're very. A lot of people's minds are clouded and judgmental when that they don't want to believe. Like
Yep.
I feel like I don't know about you, but over here, like when it comes to the paranormal, anything like spiritual and things like that, a lot of people get very judgmental over it. Like they think, oh, this guy's
Oh, it's
very,
like that here.
yeah, very
It's like that
moody.
here.
Yeah, yeah. I could imagine, man. Like, fucking, I don't know how I would have handled being in your shoes, like actually through this point in time, especially like if I come across something like this in the bush, mate. I tell you what, I'd feel on edge. I'd be on
Oh,
edge.
I was. I had my pistol on my side the rest of the time I was up there.
Yeah,
I
like
was just keeping it in the truck. I was keeping it in the truck, but I kept it on my side after that.
yeah. The thing that sort of got me and me brother-in-law when we were reviewing all your like messages and everything too on on the main last episode. Um, the phone died, man. Like that, that was not like heard of really. Like unless your phone was obviously malfunctioning like prior or
It was a brand new phone.
yeah, right. Yeah, see, like as the brother-in-law was sort of saying, Kyle, what sort of need does say Bigfoot have for electronic devices? Does he does no need to draw power or anything really? You'd think, but
And I was talking with somebody about that, and they believe that these Bigfoot can produce a sound called infrasound, and
right.
they think that this can mess with technology.
Yeah, so it's sort of like a, I guess you could say in some sort of way like a EMP sort of thing, where it can sort
Yeah,
of like, yeah. Well, it's funny. Like you look at some of these other cryptids and like legends and shit like that. The banshee, apparently the scream of that can like absolutely rupture your eardrums and
yeah.
all sorts of things like that. But yeah, like I guess that sort of makes sense, man. Like be in a very sort of unique frequency. Like, obviously, what
Mhm.
would whales sound like if they weren't underwater too?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, I wonder if that it's very sort of similar sound in that sort of aspect, possibly. But
It very well could be. I mean, we don't have all the answers for everything, and
no,
Bigfoot's just a mystery that keeps going and going and going, and we just don't get any closer, you know. And that's why
that's
I wanted. That's why I wanted to share my story, you know, because maybe there's somebody out there that's maybe had an encounter kind of like mine, and they
yeah,
may just have more answers than what I have, you know.
yeah, yeah. No, well, and like I'm guessing this photo here was taken. Obviously, you were down at your service truck at the time. Is this correct? Were you seeing
Yes,
this?
sir.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And that's the original photo. Like, imagine that, just standing there at your truck, minding your own business, and looking up and seeing this fucking thing looking at you, mate. I tell you what,
Yeah.
I would have felt a bit uncomfortable. But yeah,
Hmm. Yeah, it did make me uncomfortable on edge. I just had this feeling of fear. I didn't want to move. I was just froze,
it,
and I,
it
I had enough nerve in me to snag a picture, you know, and
yeah,
that's when the phone tried. I wasn't going to try and take a video because as sure as I tried to take a video, it was going to go. I
yeah,
was like, I'm just going to try and snap a picture because if I don't, it's going to be gone and nobody will
yeah.
believe me.
Now, to me, like this is no offense to you. You don't really seem like a tech savvy sort of like editor sort of thing, like myself sort of thing. Like you wouldn't really know how to edit pictures or anything like that. So
No, I'm
nah,
green. I'm green. I
yeah.
don't.
Like in my eyes, like I'm learning video editing, but I don't know any of those sorts of skills where they use like masking techniques and things like that. So that's where I feel like some of these other people that are out there that are getting this so-called footage, masking like using AI and all sorts of things like that out there now that are
Yeah, and that's a big thing, you know. I really hate that I waited as long as I have to kind of share this, but you know, I have my proof and I remember this like it was yesterday,
yeah,
and just technology coming as far along as it has, and it's just affecting just the trueness of my story. It's it's had a really big impact on my life for 3 years now. I mean, I've there for a little bit after I seen this thing, I went through depression. I had nightmares. I lost
yeah,
weight. I couldn't sleep. It's had a really big impact on my life, man. And it's hard for people not to believe you, you know.
yeah. Yeah, no, look, I can see I can see why something like that would affect you as much as it does, man. Obviously, you know, it's one of them things you just don't know what you're going to expect, you know.
Exactly.
But if you have any advice you'd give to other people that have sort of experienced encounters very similar, what would it be?
You know, if I could have done anything differently that day, I would have been more prepared for experiencing one of these things. I would have had a video camera. I would have had another camera. I would have had anything backup necessary to try and capture more evidence of this thing.
Yep.
But what I've got, I'm pretty satisfied with it, and it's good. It's good stuff. And if I could do anything a little bit more differently, if I was more into Bigfoot and not being a skeptic, I would have done a lot of things different. I would have tried to interacted with these things maybe, but
Yep.
that part of me wouldn't have. But I don't know what dangers these things pose or anything. I mean, that thing could have easily got a hold of me if it wanted to. I mean,
It could have been like
I
that
just
video I
I was
sent
on.
you with that pig just ripped clean in half. Uh,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah, that was impressive. It takes a lot. It takes a lot for an animal to do that.
Yes, you're not wrong at all. You're not wrong at all. Now, you haven't gone back working in this area at all over the last few years? No.
I haven't been back since.
You ever thought about going back there
And
again?
interestingly enough, uh, another guy that I shared my story with, there was somebody that reached out to him, and there was a woman that sent him some vocalizations that were eerily similar to the ones that I have, and they were east of where I had my encounter.
Okay. Have you ever thought about going back up there with a couple of trail cams or anything like that, setting them up, or?
I, I'd have to talk with whoever owns the land now. I'm not really sure who owns it now. I'd have to find out who owned the land and try to get back in there.
Yeah, yeah,
If I couldn't get back in there, I'd go somewhere close by that
yeah.
would let me in.
No, that makes sense. I guess, like, obviously, you being permitted access, because a lot of those like lands down there are actually privately owned. I take it, not actually nationally owned. Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of private land, a lot of national parks, just everything. Especially in Virginia, they're kind of the landowners are kind of strict, and
Yep.
which I mean anywhere in the southern United States is going to be strict about letting you on their land.
Yeah. Yep. No, but look, I could understand that. Obviously, some people would be a bit funny to like asking questions like, "What do you want to go on me land for?" and everything like that. People might think you're a bit of a fucking Looney Tune or something like that. But
Yeah, yeah,
but at the end,
yeah. I'm not no loser.
yeah, no, you to me, man, you don't come across as a loony. You come across as an average Joe just doing his job. And it's just had a freak encounter. That's all. But yeah. And I can tell by looking at you too, man. Like I haven't seen. I'm a pretty good poker player, so like I'm not seeing any real tells or anything there. So, I mean, I believe you. And like going through that footage, man, it's definitely uneasy. It's definitely uneasy to look at.
Yeah, I remember it like it was yesterday.
Yeah. Now, so if there was one bit of evidence that you would have loved to have caught, like actually caught, that would 100% set it solid in your mind, what would it be?
If I if I could have any kind of evidence from it, I would have casted the tracks, and I would have tried to get some kind of hair sample or something from this thing. I wouldn't kill one. I
No,
wouldn't.
no,
They're too human. They're too human. I
like,
couldn't.
no, no. But I guess in Virginia, obviously you get mountain lions down that way too. I take it.
There is folk tales about them being here still, apparent because they went extinct out here, but they're still out west. But apparently, they're making a comeback out here. They're reintroducing them, and apparently, there's black panthers now too. So
Okay. Yeah. Well, we have a urban legend here in Tasmania and up in Victoria that there's actually a black panther running throughout as well. So yeah, I know some people have caught photos and things like that, but still a little bit unsure. It's been a running legend for about roughly the last 20 years over here. But
So I mean,
I
there
get,
very well could be people
yeah,
having them as pets and turning them loose.
well, that's exactly right. I mean, I guess the big thing is down there. There's no actual predators that could actually take this thing on really. If there's so like theoretically, this thing is the top of the food chain out there.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I mean, what you get grizzlies or they brown bears there?
No, just black
Black
bears,
bears,
and
yeah, pretty small.
they're
Yeah,
probably 400 pound, if that, maybe four or
yeah,
500 pound, a big one,
yeah,
probably standing 6-ish feet tall. But that thing, I'd say that thing was 8 foot, if not bigger. I mean, it was massive. But it
yeah,
dwarfed me. I mean, as far away as it was, and I'm 6'6", like I said, and I
yeah,
think it's massive.
yeah, yeah. No, but no. Look, mate, I really want to thank you for your time, eh? Like honestly, you were the second person to reach back to us that has been willing to share their experiences. But mate,
Yes, sir.
um,
Appreciate you for letting me come on and share with you, Greg. It's been an honor, and I appreciate it. And I hope somebody comes to you after this. And I want to encourage any listener. Don't be afraid to share your story. Don't be
no,
afraid to be
that's
ridiculed, because there'll be people that'll listen.
that's exactly right, man. And what I'll do is like once this recording's done, mate, I'll do a bit more editing and that, and I'll chuck on the vocalizations as well at the end, obviously, so people can understand and hear what's going on there. But
Right.
mate, I just want to absolutely thank you again. It's been an absolute honor. I mean, obviously it was a bit hard to try and get a hold of you, time difference wise and everything like that.
Yeah, we got it to work though.
Yeah, we got it to work, and I figure Sunday morning over here. It's probably about 6, 7 o'clock over there now for you guys. So
Yeah, it's 8:04 here.
yeah, but not so. I'm glad we could make that work. But anyway, guys, what I might do is if you guys have any questions for Harley or anything like that, I can follow up with Harley again later on down the track. Any questions, if you've got an experience as well you wish to share over to Harley as well, roughly in the same area, it could be even a state or two over. I mean, I'm guessing these things are nomadic and they move around. But what I'll do is, and then I can get in touch with Harley again, and basically I can read you guys' questions and some of your stories through, or we can get you in on the call as well. But yeah, obviously you guys, main thing is you guys know you aren't alone, and that's the main thing. Is just reaching out. Obviously, share your story. I mean, look at Harley. Obviously Sharon's lifted a bit of weight off his chest, and you know,
Yeah, it's helped. It helps a lot to share. I mean, 3 years after seeing this thing, it's built up, and I encourage anybody, don't let it build up inside of you. It'll corrupt you.
that's
it,
it.
it corrupted me, and it helps to get it off your chest and share it.
So this would have been like right at the start of the pandemic too, if that's the case.
It was the fall of the pandemic. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I guess a lot of people would have been confined and that too. So obviously, they would have had obviously workplace safety things in measure where you could only have so many people on site at a time, like they did over here. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So that I guess that makes sense too. I mean, when everyone's inside hiding, I guess Bigfoot will come out and show himself a bit more.
yeah, I reckon. Coming from a skeptic to a believer, it
Yeah.
made me open my eyes to this world a whole lot more.
So I take it obviously you believe in Bigfoot. Now, what are your thoughts when it comes to like more supernatural, like spirits and everything like that?
Yeah, I have not personally had any ghost encounters that I'm aware of or anything like that, but the Bigfoot's the only thing supernatural, paranormal, or anything that I've ever seen.
Yep.
It's not natural. It's something that's unknown to us. But I believe that the government's hiding these things and they know about them,
Yep.
so they know about them, and they're strict. I got thinking about this the other night. I was like, they close our national parks at night. and you ain't allowed in there.
Yep.
Why? They're national parks. You can be in there all day long, but as soon as it gets dark, you can't be in there.
Yeah, what's funny, like down here, our national parks, like you pay camping permits and things like that. You can go in through it and all that, you know. Um, Down in certain states, they've got legislations now where you can't actually film or record in a national park because it's technically crown land, but without a
Oh,
permit. Yeah, without a permit, man. But who's got $4,000 for a business filming permit for that sort of thing? You know,
and that's a money racket.
it is a money racket, and not only that too. Like, I guess, like down here, like camping's a pretty big thing. Like here in Australia, there's a lot of people that go camping, and that like um, most of our campsites are all coastal. There's not a real lot of inland stuff, so like yeah, it don't have really a great deal of forestry. Like we have like certain national parks, but like they're pretty small compared to what you guys have over there. But
Right.
yeah, I mean Yowie and Bigfoot, you know, distant cousins, or are they, you know,
The same thing. I mean, we may never know until the
yeah.
truth is exposed or somebody ends up killing one of these things. I mean,
I guess that's the main
we may
thing.
never know.
The main thing too. I guess if someone is out there and they see one and they can manage to scruff some hair or DNA or even some fecal matter or something like that, you know. I mean, the things they're doing with science these days, you'd never know.
Yeah, it's impressive. Yeah, I mean, we may never have the answers for this. I mean, it may last through my children's lifetime being history. I mean, we may. It's just a matter of time.
I mean, I guess the good thing is you've got a great story for the grandkids and that too. I mean,
Oh yeah,
I mean to have like such a out there experience and like actually, you know, document some of this stuff is, you know, it's great. But you know, the one thing is that I'm sort of proud to see is that you know you haven't gone and become absolutely obsessed with it. You haven't gone out tried hunting this thing or anything like
not
that.
yet, but I'm gonna try and start me a YouTube channel and
Yeah,
start podcasting going out at the beginning of the year. So we'll
yeah,
see how it goes. But it might do good.
yeah, mate. Well, especially if you get a couple other people that have had experiences. Are you part of the Reddit community? I'd strongly suggest getting onto Reddit. There's a lot of people on there. It's just basically a forum page, but obviously, you know, there's certain Bigfoot pages and things like that too. People who have having experiences you could
Hmm.
get in contact with as well. It's all free, so. But yeah,
Okay, I'll look into it. Yeah.
but no. So you're back in Tennessee then?
Yes, sir.
Still logging?
No, no, I actually work at a factory now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Staying away from the
I
woods.
haven't, yeah, I haven't been deer hunting in 3 years. So it's had a big impact on me. I used to hunt all my life and I don't do it no more.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I could see how that'd rattle you, man. I really could. I mean, like, I've done a bit of like paranormal investigating through like cemeteries and things like that. We've just got the okay to go through an old hospital down the west coast,
Huh.
and yeah, it's going to be quite interesting to actually be inside where you're very limited for movement, sort of thing. Um,
Yeah.
but like, I'm on the fence still when it comes to certain parts of it. Like, I believe in cryptids. Like, you got evidence there, you know. Like, you got solid evidence. Like, you get people that may fake it, but you know, you've got solid stuff there. So it makes it more believable, you know. Whereas like
Yeah.
these paranormal investigating, like there's so many things that can come into effect, like obviously temperature, like certain batteries and things like that. Obviously batteries drain quicker in the cold, and you know can cause all sorts of like electrical problems too. So like, it can there's just so many variables when it comes to obviously spirits and things like that. But then again, you see these people that go out and they get scratched in like an abandoned building with no
Yeah,
explanation.
I wouldn't do that. I would never do that. No,
No.
that's where I draw the line. I wouldn't do that. No, that's
Yes.
all I need to do.
See, especially the worst part being is you can't actually see it. You know, that makes it more scary. It's
No.
like the Invisible Man.
Yeah. Yeah. No, no thanks. No,
Yeah.
I'd rather see another Bigfoot than experience something like that.
Now, is there any other cryptids that you'd love to sort of like encounter or anything like that? Like,
I've never really looked into any other ones, but the dog man is probably another one I would look into.
yeah, yeah,
Because apparently there was like I said earlier, there was an attack in the town that I live in now, and there was 2 people killed, and they covered it up as a dog pack attack.
okay, yeah. It seemed a bit too vicious. You seem to think, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, they covered it up, and they said it was a multiple dog attack.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. No, no. Well, there's a lot of obviously Native American bloody lore out there too, as well when it comes to like skinwalkers and everything like that too. Um,
Right.
but yeah,
Which I'm new to all this cryptid stuff. I mean, I'm new to all of it.
yeah. And then they've obviously got like Virginia too. I'm pretty sure if my memory serves me correct, Virginia also stated that I think was the very first Wendigo case. If you know what a
Oh, the
Wendigo,
Wendigo.
yeah,
The
Wendigo,
Wendigo.
yeah,
Yeah, I've watched a couple of movies about it, but I don't know about that. But I don't know. But I now that I've seen the Bigfoot, I mean, there could be anything now.
yeah.
I
You're a
mean,
bit,
I've,
you're a
I've
bit,
opened my eyes and
bit more
heard.
open to interpretation now. Then, yeah, yeah. But no. Anyway, mate.
Anything is possible.
Anyway, mate, I am gonna call it there. I want to thank you for your time. It's been nothing but an absolute pleasure. And guys,
I
like I said,
appreciate you, Greg, and having me on.
no worries at all. And guys, if you got any questions or anything like that, just drop them down in the comments below, and I can forward them on to Harley, or I can message you guys directly. Would you rather them contact you through any source of social media or anything like that?
Facebook or Messenger, however.
Yep.
That's the only way. That's the only social media I've got is Facebook or Messenger.
All right. Well, what I'll do, guys, is I'll drop a link in the comment in the description below for Harley's Facebook. So if you do have any questions or any stories of your own to share with him, please contact Harley. But yeah. Anyway, Harley, we'll wrap it up there, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you
All right,
again,
brother.
and we'll let
Yes,
you
sir.
enjoy the
Thank
rest
you.
of your weekend.
Oh yeah, gotta go to work tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I'm hearing you. I'm back to a lab tomorrow. But no. Alrighty, mate. Well, thank you for your time, and I'll be in touch.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate you. We will.
No worries, mate. Bye.